All right. Second day, second podcast.
Cubes.
Right after a stream. You know the promo code. It's Dangle. It's 20% off. It's free shipping. And I'm a little hoarse.
Yeah, well,
I don't. What can you do with your little?
I always thought you were a man.
No, stop it. All right, start the show, Jesse, please.
You didn't say manscaped.com.
Oh, manscaped.com. There it is.
Promo code
Dangle. I already said that.
20% off.
Yeah, free shipping.
20%
I said that.
All right.
The Steve Dangle Podcast. Powered by Sports Interaction. Canada's Sportsbook.
The Steve Dangle Podcast with your hosts, Steve Dangle, Adam Wilde, and Jesse Blake.
Oh, my goodness. Lots to talk about. But I would first like to start the show, if it's possible, with Steve Dangle last night. Steve Dangle on the stream last night for Sportsnet.
It's a lot of fun.
It is a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. It's fun watching you do this. And I think my favorite part is the fact that you can't hear the crowd.
I can't hear the crowd or the call. So
Can't hear the announcers.
when the Flames tied it, I legitimately had no idea what happened.
Right. And when the Flames tied it, it was that unbelievable goal from one end of the ice to the other. So, Jesse, when you're ready,
Yeah.
let's have a listen to Steve Dangle.
Mike Smith plays it through the trapezoid. Hilarious. Flames clear it. Did that go in? What? No! You're joking! The Flames just tied it? You're joking!
Draisaitl from making this a 2-goal game.
What happened?
Just curling around buying.
What on earth happened?
This pad save.
I gotta see the replay.
Got his pad
I don't think the camera was even
The
on.
rebound cleared out. For
There's that
Hanifin,
spectacular save
and
from
then a
Markstrom, and then what
straight
happened
Smith,
here?
And a long
Whack.
shot that Smith.
Oh my gosh! Smith had no idea it was even coming.
What a play by Anderson. You know, just a
Anderson
shot that you could see
with a Hail Mary
never
shot.
Saw it until it was gone by him. The reaction by Smith, stunning.
Hockey
That
is
reaction there
the
says it all
best.
by-
It really is.
It is. It's pretty great.
It really is.
great.
Well, and to show the
Good call.
confusion, so I didn't know anything happened until the camera panned to the Flames celebrating. But the cameraman also, director, had no idea who scored that goal too, because the camera panned to Nikita Zadorov twice. That's not who scored the goal. It was Rasmus Anderson.
Right. Well, I'd like to watch a game where either team finds their goaltending.
Oh my God.
It's been atrocious.
It's
been
so
terrible.
much better though.
It is
It's
better,
bad, but it's good.
but I don't see either of these teams being able to take on Colorado. The unstoppable force that is Colorado with the completely immovable objects that are Markstrom and Smith.
Yeah.
I think the Oilers have a chance.
Yeah, because, dude, again, I think they're finding their game. I didn't like how they defended the lead against Calgary, obviously. But when the game was close and tied, I think the proof is in the pudding there. They went up 3-0, and then they were able to, all right, we blew it. Let's figure it out. And Ryan Nugent-Hopkins with the 2 goals, they were able to stop the Flames at their blue line, and when the Flames gained the zone, they kept them to the perimeter. They defended well, which is not something we've said often.
Super odd. The Flames had Stone and Shillington out there. Like Tanev and Shillington
surprised.
were looking really good, and then for some reason, with 5 minutes left, you're going to throw out Stone, who played 5 total minutes.
Well, and
It
Stone,
was weird.
I believe, plays on their power play, or at least I saw him on the power play
And
yesterday.
he was the 7th defenseman, right? They dressed 7, right?
Right.
So, but I just thought it was odd. Like, why even bother? Why throw him out there?
I guess Tanev's really on shaky ground.
He played 19 minutes.
It wasn't. I can't even say he played poorly, but he played in pain.
Sure.
He took.
He played painfully.
Yeah, painly. That's a
Painly.
word. Sure. No, he took a hit and he looked very uncomfortable.
The Oilers reminded me of the beginning of the season Oilers, because I think a lot of people forget that these Oilers started, 14-2 or something?
Yeah.
They were
ridiculous?
shit hot.
And Draisaitl and McDavid were both on pace for 250 points each.
Something like
and they were going to break every record in the book. And that's what it looks like right now. When they came out in that first period, Calgary played well. Calgary had a good first period, but the Oilers were just so much better offensively that they couldn't keep up. And it's really impressive. It reminds me of the beginning of the season. And if they're that versus Colorado, they have a puncher's chance. They can do it.
A puncher's chance. That's a great way of putting it. Yeah, I really like that. But I'm amazed how often Evander Kane is carrying the puck because he's playing.
He got 12 goals, by the way.
Yeah,
he leads the playoffs in goals.
It's insane.
It's
crazy.
Yeah, he's ridiculous. But he's playing on a line with McDavid and Draisaitl, and out of those three, I would expect him to carry it the least. But then you watch Draisaitl, and we need a new power rankings because I said Alexander Ovechkin is the best player in the NHL when standing still. And Draisaitl's giving him a run for his money. That dude is putting up 3 points a game, not moving.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Literally not moving. There was a hilarious play where McDavid is like he's just water bug flying around, and he just does his little bumper pass with Draisaitl, gets it back. It's hilarious. Like, that's a brilliant hockey player to be so limited in his ability right now. Obviously with that ankle, like there was one line change with Draisaitl. I was like, how is he going to do this for another month? Like he looked like he was in agony, and he still, he set a record, didn't he? The most consecutive.
I got it right in front of me. Don't even try to remember it from your brain.
I won't.
With an assist on the Edmonton Oilers' final goal of the night, Leon Draisaitl, 3 assists, made more NHL history by becoming the first player with 3 points or more points in 4 straight playoff games. Wow. No player ever, not Gretzky, not Messier, not Orr, nobody has ever done that besides Leon Draisaitl.
And he's done it standing still.
3 points, 4 straight playoff games.
Damn.
Dude, it's unbelievable what the Oilers are doing, and him in particular.
Yeah. And McDavid, when he's out there, especially on, I forget which power play it was. I think it was like a third power play in the middle of the second or something. He's skating around like he's on speed boost when they're doing the power play. He kind of just skates in the middle and then he just sends the puck to wherever. Everybody kind of stands around him. He does whatever he wants and he goes so much faster than everybody else on the ice. And then he just finds a spot for it. It's beautiful.
If an alien came to Earth and they were a reasonable and peaceful alien and they just wanted to learn more about human culture, and you showed them hockey, they would have watched that game last night and pointed at McDavid and said, and what species is he?
Yeah, his speed, it's something otherworldly.
It's something I like talking about this game that I went to because I'd never quite seen it happen this way. But game 1, Sharks, Penguins 2016 Stanley Cup Final. That was the Bonino game. And every time Crosby jumped over the boards, you saw the Sharks defenseman go, fuck. But like, you just, a draining, terrified body language. And the Flames defensemen all have that for McDavid.
Right.
McDavid is not allowing them. The Oilers as a unit, but McDavid in particular, are not allowing the Flames to play Daryl Sutter hockey. Like the stoic poise that we anointed the Flames with. No, they're going to play this style and they're going to just run through the West and, you know, they'll run into Colorado and we'll see who wins. Nope.
Yeah.
They're not allowed to play their game and they're really struggling to cope.
This is twice. This has happened. Dallas got them out of their game as well.
Yeah, man. Like it's amazing that they could still come back and win the series and potentially win a Stanley Cup. Because
very unlikely.
Well, it's very unlikely, and I say that because it's not a lot of teams come back from 3-1 deficits. But like, they're playing their worst hockey of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, no question. And so it's funny, you know, you look at the Flames and Oilers series. I apologize for my voice. I just lost it yesterday.
Should.
I don't know why. If you should, idiot.
When Nuge scored the go-ahead goal, he lost his mind.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Oh, his post game?
Oh,
or he's like a kid with ice cream? He couldn't control himself? We're 1 game away.
Yeah, Hyman in front of the crowd goes, Nuge, and it hurt my heart.
The betting odds are actually, strangely enough, the money line odds anyway are on Calgary, according to Sports Interaction. So they're saying
to win Game 5?
Yeah. I think it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, you go home. You're down. You probably.
I get it.
Should be the favorite.
You know.
They're not talking about the series. They're talking about Game 5.
Talking about Game 5. Now, do you think this wraps up on Friday?
Oh,
or sorry,
man.
tomorrow, Thursday? I'm all discombobulated. It was a long weekend.
My wife hopes it does. So my wife is an Oilers fan right now because she wants me to watch Leo on Saturday so she can go out. And then on Monday, I kind of don't want it to go to 7 because I have a concert I want to go to.
Oh, okay.
But if there's a game 7, I can't go.
Right.
So.
Okay. Well, I'm glad that we're worried about
Yeah, is that the analysis you're looking for?
Yeah, it is.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
no, but like, dude, you saw 2 of the goals from that game last night. What analysis? Don't leave your friggin' net and don't allow goals from 135 feet.
So here's the question, and I think this will affect the odds at sportsinteraction.com/SDPN. Mark Strub looks off.
Yeah.
He just looks off. He looks shook.
Yeah.
Somebody's in his head, and I know it's Connor McDavid,
Well, he made
Andy
a great
Vanderkeen,
save, too.
and Leon Draisaitl. But man, if you're the Oilers, you can't ever be confident that Mike Smith's got it.
Man.
You can't. Like, you can't. And that's what makes this series so interesting. But this is why Mike Smith, to me, is the reason they'd never get past Colorado. That's my personal opinion. And watch, this will be quote tweeted at me once they're in the Stanley Cup Finals. Fine.
Oh, sure.
Fine. But, like, to be honest with you, that the Mike Smith piece for me is just, I don't know. Like, this team is so good. They're finally coached properly. And they're doing what they should have been doing the whole time.
He never saw that puck. He never saw that thing, man.
I think, you know, this is the problem, right? Mike Smith giveth and Mike Smith taketh away.
Yeah.
You know this.
Both goalies made a 1 stellar save apiece.
Yes. Yes.
And that's it. That's all you're going to get, by the way. Each game has basically had that. And I never would have expected that from this series at all.
Yeah, me neither.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's not just the greatness of that top line from the Oilers. That is supposed to be their weakness, is when they top load like that. That's supposed to be, all right, we got him. We have a Selke candidate, and he's not even the guy taxed with shutting McDavid down. It's Backlund, basically. And we're going to beat them with our depth. And the Oilers' depth is coming through. And they're winning this series for Calgary.
Mm-hmm.
Or, sorry, for Edmonton.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I'm shocked. I'm shocked by what I'm watching.
Right.
I really thought the Flames were better than this, but
I think Flames fans thought they were better than this.
yeah.
And I thought evidence proved that they were better than this. 82 games says they're better than this. The players they have say they're better than this. All the guys are underperforming.
This is the problem. Everyone goes, oh, but the 82 games. Honestly, I think you can get by with 15 to 20. The 15 to 20 that you head into the playoffs with, people go, oh man, like, oh really? October and November games are dictating how you're going to play in April and May.
Look at the Florida Panthers.
Yeah, I just don't think so, man. Well, they were amazing though down the stretch. They were almost undefeated.
It means nothing.
Apparently,
when you
means
show
nothing.
up to the playoffs, if you don't deliver, then it means nothing.
But I was looking at how some teams were playing down the stretch, and I was like, we're not talking nearly enough about the Edmonton Oilers. Like they're still a flawed team. Almost every team in the league has flaws. Hello, Tampa. I know you don't. But they're better than their season suggests. And
Okay, that's fair.
I think if you take the Woodcroft Oilers alone, it's Woodcroft / Kane, right?
Who was the head coach before Woodcroft?
Was it Tocchet?
Adam.
For Woodcroft, it was Tippett.
Tippett, not Tocchet. Tippett, not Tocchet. Tocchett's he's on TNT, isn't he?
I think
He's being mentioned for a couple jobs, like the Philly job.
Tippett. Sorry. It starts with T and ends with T. One of those names. Yeah, no, if you take a look at the Woodcroft Oilers, I think they would compare favorably to the full season Calgary Flames.
Oh yeah, and one thing about Mike Smith is if he can win a Stanley Cup because he has an unflappable belief in himself.
To the point where that goal wasn't even his fault.
Mike Smith blamed the defenseman on that goal. Mike Smith, if you want a goaltender who's going to win you a Stanley Cup, you need him to never be fazed by anything, and Mike Smith is that guy.
He's never allowed a goal that was his fault.
No, never. And that might luck your way into a Stanley Cup.
That was an insane clip. When I saw that, I was like, "You got to be fucking kidding me, pal!"
But that's what you need.
I think you need that plus talent.
He has it. He has it though.
Maybe Mike Smith 2012 guys, but
he's got both right now,
man. Well, and the unflappable confidence, man. Once per period, at least, he plays the puck in a way where I'm like, you're out of your mind.
Yeah,
yes.
the one where he was like, oh, should I have to play it right now?
I'm pretty sure the clip we played, you were just talking about Mike Smith playing the puck like a maniac.
Through the trapezoid. Yeah. How is that? What a dumb rule, by the way. Like, as if Mike Smith found the loophole where you could be on one side of the trapezoid and then just pass it to yourself on the other side. What a stupid rule.
But even
just get rid of the dumb thing.
His mind to do that.
Like,
why would you do that?
But why not?
Yeah, you know what's funny about that?
Unreal.
The NHL's terrified to get rid of head hits, but they don't want goalies playing it in the corner as though that's a fucking big deal.
No.
It's just crazy.
Dangerous.
So,
dude, if they got rid of the trapezoid, scoring would skyrocket.
Jesse,
what's up?
Is the series over tomorrow?
No, they win in Calgary and then Edmonton ends it in Game 6.
Steve, do they win tomorrow night?
Oh boy,
Edmonton, that is.
Sorry, honey. I think Jesse's probably right.
Really?
Yeah.
I think
Calgary wins in Calgary. Edmonton wins in Edmonton.
I think Edmonton's going to win tomorrow night.
Edmonton.
You know, because here's what I would say.
Edmonton versus Calgary.
Oh God. Calgary wins in Calgary, and then Edmonton wins in Edmonton.
I think it's gotta if Edmonton wins in Calgary, they get bragging rights forever.
Oh,
you know how bad they want it in Calgary tomorrow. Come on.
The Flames fans in my mentions last night.
How were they? Are they okay?
They were the most down bad fan base I've seen in these playoffs.
And yet they were tied with 3 minutes to go.
Yeah, but they lost.
Yeah.
They lost. Not only did they lose, the fan base seems to have resigned to the fact that they're going to lose.
Oh.
Yeah, like there doesn't really like, dude, even 2018 against Boston, who was clearly the better team. I was looking at the Leafs, I'm like, we'll see. And they forced 7 and they were winning in the third, and we know that sad story and all that shit. But like I was like, maybe. I don't know, let's play the rest of the series and see how it goes. Fans were just like, well, fuck.
Really?
And it wasn't just we're going to lose, it's we're going to lose and we're never going to hear the end of it.
Oh yeah.
Flames fans cannot wait for next spring.
Oh.
Because they want next spring and they want to take on the Oilers because every moment between now and then
is going to be hell. Oh man, and Oilers fans will make you hear it over over and over. Yeah.
That's part of the reason why it's not just that the Leafs blew that 3-1 series lead to Montreal. It was Montreal.
Yeah, 100%.
No Leaf fan is like, I'll never forgive them for that series against the Blue Jackets. Like, no offense.
Yeah, a little bit.
No, I'll never forgive them for the full season.
Okay.
That
whole season was a mess.
Piece of shit. I enjoyed the Horacek year more than I enjoyed that hunk of shit.
That was a bad year.
Oh my God, it was awful.
Yeah.
But it's aged poorly. Like it's gotten worse with time. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I didn't used to talk about that season this way. Yeah, I did, but it's getting worse. Anyway, it was the Habs. Oh, to lose this to Edmonton. Oh, if I was Edmonton, like a fan from Edmonton, I would make road trips to Calgary just to drive around with an Oilers flag, because that's a thing that people do now.
Yeah.
When they want to make you upset, is they drive around with a flag in their truck.
Is that how that works?
I think I would do it.
And like, I don't blame Flames fans for being like, the series is over, because I watched that first period and a half. They weren't the same. They weren't in the same league.
No.
You know, those were two different teams, and one was clearly better, and they lucked into a 3-3 tie, and then Edmonton just kind of said, no, we're going to take care of this.
Yeah, I didn't love how it's weird. I thought Edmonton defended better with a tie. Well, not a tie because they were leading 30 seconds in, but they defended when the game was close better than they did with a big lead.
They got too comfy.
Yeah, and it was just, and I was watching Calgary build a momentum, and I'm like, they're not going to be able to hold on to this. which is, another reason why I look at them taking on a monster like Colorado and I go, maybe we'll see. But you can look at it like they're one win away from the Final Four and they still have room to grow.
Mm-hmm. And the one game they lost was a crazy 9-6 game where they almost did it.
Where they erased a 4-goal?
Yeah. That's the only game they lost this series where they allowed 9. If you don't allow 9 goals, like it's a sweep.
What gruesome injury are we going to find out Markstrom has?
Maybe.
Has to be something.
Maybe.
Man. Because it's shocking. It's shocking.
It is. Okay, so Jesse, can we queue up Alan for this?
Sure. And you mentioned Sports Interaction there. One thing that hit very easy that I bet on after we talked about it. Zach Hyman over 3.5 points in the series. He's got 5. I think he's got 5 goals.
Something like that. Dude,
four
he's a
or
monster.
5 goals, but he already hit that. It's awesome.
He's a monster, and it's like it's largely with shots. Last night was a bang-in goal.
Yeah,
but like, dude's a sniper now. Apparently,
man, it makes me wish too that we'd seen focused Evander Kane more often over the course of his career. Because if this is what focused Evander Kane is, it's unbelievable.
He went into last night's game with as many points in this current playoff run than he had in his entire career before that.
Right.
In 29 games with the Sharks. They came in back-to-back years, by the way. Man, the early years of Evander Kane's career were tough. Thrashers, the pre-good Jets.
Yep. The
and
Buffalo
the Sabres.
Yep.
Then he goes to the Sharks, goes on a long run. He wasn't even that good.
No.
Really.
Well, he was early to score every year, but
in the regular season. Wasn't even that good in the playoffs, though.
Yeah, it's true.
Played 20 games one year in the playoffs.
Ooh.
And they didn't make it to was that the year they made it to the final? No, that was the year they played St. Louis in the Final Four.
Okay. St. Louis beat them, I'm assuming. Glad you know this.
Yeah.
Do you know what your license plate number is?
Yes.
Okay, good. Just throwing that out there. All right.
I know my debit card and credit card as well.
So you need to find the right candidates and you need to hire them fast. You should check out Workable. Workable can help. Workable accelerates every step of the hiring process from find to hire. And Workable helps you cast the widest possible net by posting all of your jobs to all the top job boards. They help you with video interviews and e-signatures, and they will even automate repetitive tasks like scheduling interviews so you can spend your time on what's important. Like, watching all of Austin Matthews' 60 goals on YouTube this summer.
It takes longer every year.
That's true. Whether you're hiring for your coffee shop or, SDPN, Workable is exactly what you need to hire the right people. Start hiring right now with a risk-free 15-day trial. Just know that if you hire during the trial, it doesn't cost you anything. And a lot of people will. Workable.com. Start hiring. Workable is hiring made easy. Hey, did you know that Athletic Greens was created when the founder experienced a ton of gut health issues and ended up basically on like some complicated supplement routine? It cost him $100 a day.
He wasn't very poopy. He needs
would
to get
assume that
more
had
poopy.
He maybe, possibly.
No, I'm just guessing.
Listen, that is not a part of the script story, but
we should find out.
Maybe.
Was he poopy
It's
enough?
not. I stole Adam's laptop.
Okay. He did create Athletic Greens after experiencing how difficult it was for an optimal routine. We made fun of TJ from Virgin Radio on this about, having his own, his girlfriend lay out his pills every morning. You don't have to do that with Athletic Greens. It costs you less than $3 a day. It's cheaper than getting all those different supplements yourself, and you're investing in an all-in-one nutritional insurance. It's keto, it's paleo, it's vegan, it's dairy-free, it's gluten-free, and it contains less than 1 gram of sugar. And here's what you need to do right now. Time to reclaim your health and your immune system, especially heading into flu and cold season, which, again, you can hear a little bit of it in my voice right now.
Stay away from me.
To make it easy, Athletic Greens is going to give you 1 free year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 travel packs with your first purchase. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/SDP. Again, athleticgreens.com/SDP to take ownership of your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance.
We're going to do a little bit of trivia with Steve here. This is based on an Agent Provocateur story. So this is a new episode. And I've been dying to get Alan to do stuff like this because he's such a good storyteller and he knows so much. And so in this story, he names everybody, right? There's a story about Flower and Sidney Crosby and a few other people in Montreal during the playoffs that you're going to have to hear. But I'm going to let that happen on the show. You got to listen to it. But this is a little bit of trivia. And this is a player quite literally negotiating themselves out of a multi-year contract
Oh, no.
based on being too honest.
Oh, no. Okay.
So, Jesse, can you play a little bit of it? And we'll see if Steve can guess who it is. And Steve has no glasses on, so he can't actually read what's on Jesse's computer.
Well, it's just you and Alan.
I know, but you actually can't read the description, which is good.
Oh.
Yeah.
No,
There's no
I actually
description.
can't.
It's just a video.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
There you
okay. I was like, shit. Am I about to blow it? No. Okay.
All right, you want to play it?
Mm-hmm.
I said,
Should I watch?
Zdeno, would you have any interest in playing next year for the Minnesota Wild? He goes, yes. He said, I don't want to play anywhere where there's any stress to make the playoffs. And you guys are like the worst team in the league, right? You finished like near the bottom of the league. That's perfect for me because I don't want to be anywhere where we're expected to make the playoffs, where there's any stress. I don't like stress in my life. I like to be calm and relaxed. So there's that.
Who is that?
He said, sorry, can you play the first part again?
Yeah.
Zdeno?
Mm-hmm.
So
I
wait.
said
Why is he calling him Zdeno? Why is he calling him Zdeno?
That's his name.
it is his
We're
name.
asking you who it is.
And you're asking me to name the person named Zdeno?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's not Chara,
No.
obviously. Okay.
Zdeno, would you have any interest in playing next year for the Minnesota Wild? He goes, yes. He said, I don't want to play anywhere where there's any stress to make the playoffs. And you guys are like
You said
the
the
worst
two of the
team
Wild?
in the league, right? You finished
GM.
like near the bottom of the league. That's perfect for me because I don't want to be anywhere where we're expected to make the playoffs, where there's any stress. I don't like stress in my life. I like to be calm and relaxed. So there's that.
He also said he really likes to fish, and that's why Minnesota would be a good place because there's a lot of lakes. And that he had a bad back, so he needed as long of a contract as possible.
Oh my God.
Now you got to
his
hear
real name is Zdeno.
his real name is Zdeno.
He goes on to not sign with Minnesota. He signs with the Rangers.
If
Does that trigger anything?
Is that true? I'm not going to give you the answer. If you
No.
don't get it, I'm waiting for Agent Provocateur. I want you to listen to Agent Provocateur.
This is around 2000.
best player,
2001.
best player not in the NHL from 96 to 2000. Every year teams tried to sign this guy.
Do you know this hockey
From
trivia?
96 to 2000.
And he played in the NHL before, he played in the NHL after.
Slovak or Czech?
Slovak, I'm pretty sure.
His real name is Zdeno?
Yeah. What's his last name?
Slovak.
It couldn't possibly be. No, it wouldn't have been Zdeno Chara. He was drafted.
No, it's not.
No. And also, that's not how he thinks.
He wouldn't say that.
Zdeno. Trying to think of the Zdenos. There's Zbynek Mahalik.
Zarli Zalapsky.
Zarli Zalapsky. I'm trying to. Would he have been on Team Slovakia? I can't think of another Zdeno.
Okay. So we're not going to tell you who it is.
Really?
Oh,
No.
what?
We're not going to tell. We're not going
No.
to talk about the player?
Make him listen to Agent Provocateur.
Can we talk about the player on Friday?
Yeah, we can talk about the
Okay,
player.
okay. Because
Yeah.
I want to talk about his career because Alan goes on to mention some of the unbelievable things.
And that's why I want you to hear it, and then we'll break it down on Friday.
Okay.
It just came out.
Oh my God. How aren't we doing this at the end of the show? This is going to torture me the rest of the
I know. This is why you could keep coming back with your guesses as the show happens. But I just thought you'd want to know. And there are some teams that are going to, I know there's fans of teams right now that know exactly who we're talking about.
You suck.
I know.
Oh.
It's such a great episode. It's so good. It's so flipping good. Oh my God, some of the shit that happens in the NHL. It's just unbelievable.
So there's a story in there about a bunch of the Pens in the 2010 series going to Schwartz's. You mentioned that off the top.
Yeah.
And you want them to hear the story. But I just want to say that Mike Rupp was amongst the Pens who were in that car that went to Schwartz's, and he tweeted about it.
Did he?
Yeah.
Did Rupper tweet about it? I love it.
I'll retweet it from the SDPN account. There you go.
Incredible. Okay.
So
Rupper's such a good guy.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so Steve, this is, and it's going to bug you. It's going to bug you for a while. That's why I did it. All right, so check it out. Agent Provocateur this week is just an absolute gem. All right, so let's talk about Let's talk about that Trouba hit. Carolina, New York.
Oh my God.
You can't talk about this game without talking about that hit. Most people don't even know what the score is. They just talk about the Trouba. Honestly, do you know what was the actual fucking score last night, boys? Do you know?
The final score?
Yeah, it's a final score in New York.
Oh, that's a good question.
What's the actual final score of Carolina, New York last night? I'm telling you, nobody fucking knows.
3-0 Rangers?
Okay.
No, it wasn't a shutout, was it?
I don't remember.
Hey.
I was focused on Battle of Alberta.
No table talk.
3-1.
4-1 New York.
I knew, yeah, they scored.
Okay.
That was close.
But that's the thing, right? Like, nobody cares. Everybody's talking about this.
I was working on a different series.
See, Steve does not, especially New Yorker, Steve hates you.
Oh.
Especially because he got ripped off outside of MSG one time.
I got to make up for that.
Yeah, no, we got to go see a game in New York.
100%.
2 games. We got to go to, see the UBS Arena, and we got to go see MSG. So,
and the Devils, we will skip. Sorry,
No,
I just
we
wanted
will
to be.
not
I just wanted to be
skip it.
mean.
Jack
you ever just
Campbell.
wanted to be mean?
We're going to go visit Jack Campbell when he plays in New Jersey next year.
Oh, don't.
Oh, the boo, Adam, tomato.
They have a lot of money, and they always sign one free agent.
Get out of here.
Jack Campbell is signing with the Devils.
I think it makes a lot of sense.
It doesn't.
No, the name is too mean.
He's
he
too
just couldn't
sweet.
do it.
Well, he's not James Reimer, Steve.
He couldn't do it. No, he's American. He's the American rhymer.
I'm telling you, it's got to be New Jersey.
No, he's the Doctor Strange. Kurt
Overhart needs a team that's desperate for a starting goalie, and needs one with a lot of cap room.
Can we talk about Trouba?
Oh yeah,
tell it.
No, yeah. I'm sure Rangers fans are loving this.
Okay,
screw the Rangers. Let's talk about
New
the Devils.
Jersey.
All we do is not talk about this series.
Yeah, I know. Listen, it got interesting, didn't it? They hate each other anyway. But here's the problem: the refs keep breaking up the fights between like D'Angelo and Reeves, and like we want to see that shit. Okay, I'm as much as I want to see fighting out of the game, I still want to see them go at it. So let's talk about this hit for a second, because everybody wants to know what the heck happened here. Is it a head hit? I mean, well, he does make contact with the head. So based on that alone, there's got to be something. However, the argument has been made that Domi, who is shorter than Trouba, falls, which he does.
He does, man.
And Trouba takes a pretty nasty fall as well. I have to say this. On one side, it's always fucking Jake Trouba. Okay? So it's always Jake Trouba. Dom Lucian pointed out, it's like, oh, it's shocking that it's always Jake Trouba. The other side, I see it, man. Domi does fall.
Did you hear that?
What?
Choo, choo, choo. Here comes the Trou Trou Trouba train.
Oh, the Trouba train, I think, is fine. The Trou Trou train?
No.
Boo.
True.
This is why we don't talk about this series. You can't handle it, Jesse. You're not grown up enough to handle this series.
Like Trou Trou Trouba
Absolutely
train?
not.
Trou Trou Trouba train.
Oh, man.
It works.
Boo.
I thought this hit was so simple. I thought it was Domi's falling. It's an accident.
It's okay.
Is that oversimplification?
Yes and no.
Okay.
It's okay. In a vacuum, it's hockey shit happens.
Yeah.
Yes.
In context, does always seem to be this guy, doesn't it?
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I mean? So this, it's almost like, can you hand out lifetime achievement award penalties? I don't know. Why is that ref holding a stick? Sorry, I just noticed that from the clip. Why is that ref holding a stick?
It doesn't.
Finish your point.
No, I'm very distracted by this.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't.
No, I'm very distracted. No, it's in a vacuum. It's shit happens. And when Trouba hits you, when he goes to hit you, he is trying to kill you.
Yes, that is clear.
He's trying to kill you. But if Domi doesn't fall here, Trouba does probably still half kill him, but he hits him in the shoulder. And Trouba doesn't fuck around. He put Matthews out for 20 games with a clean hit. When Matthews was out with that shoulder injury, Trouba was still with the Jets, and he just caught Matthews flush, pop, shoulder comes right out, and Matthews missed the next 20 games.
And it's funny because it was the Hurricanes that came out on the bad side of this. Steven Lorentz 10-minute misconduct, 5 for fighting, along with Trouba, and then Nino Niederreiter had to serve a 2-minute instigator. And Rod Brindamore lost his mind.
Stop fighting guys for clean hits. Stop.
So you think it's a clean hit?
I thought it was an accident.
Yeah, it seems to me like an accident too, and I'm not trying to take sides here. And now I will say this. I do think the NHL needs to get to a place where, accident or not, head contact is a penalty.
Yes.
I think that's what needs to happen, because what could have happened here is if that was a penalty and that was an instant penalty, like almost like puck over glass, high stick, Trouba lets up there because he'd be like, okay, I'm going to hit the guy's head.
Well, slow.
But until such time as they institute something like that, these things are going to happen.
That's how it works in the NFL. If you hit the quarterback in the head, even if it's an accident, if the quarterback's going down and then you're going to tackle him and you accidentally hit his head, it's still a penalty. It's still a head hit.
And
I think rugby, you're not allowed to hit above the shoulders.
Yeah, because they don't wear helmets, except those little caps.
It's the only contact sport where we just sort of go, shit happens.
Mm-hmm.
That's
the NHL.
Exactly.
Yes.
So when people say, oh, it's so soft, it's like, well, the NFL did it. They're not soft.
Yeah, well, people are calling them soft, though.
Some people challenge their new hitting rules. And
if they did, if they did it any other way, Tom Brady would not be playing.
No, they're protecting the best players because that's what they know is going to generate the most revenue. It's going to be the most entertaining product, is the quarterback being protected.
There it is.
And they did it.
And
protect these guys' heads.
You're going to be able to post screen grabs from this hit, like the one Jesse has up right now. It looks like Trouba is trying to decapitate Max Domi.
But it also looks like Domi's fallen.
Now, the one thing is there an overhead angle on this? Can we have the overhead? Because a lot of people are complaining about the overhead. I just want to know if this one has one in particular. There it is.
Yeah.
So slow it down right before they make contact. Look at Trouba's right arm and look at Domi's arm. So Domi is falling.
Yeah.
And his hands are out. A lot of people are saying Trouba's leading with his arm rather than his shoulder. I just wanted to get what your thoughts were on that, because their arms do connect first.
Let me see. Jesse's got it going.
Oh, you want me to run it?
Just ready. Oh, there we go. Yeah.
No, man. I don't think so.
You just pissed off all of Carolina.
I know that. And dude, I think you can believe two things at once.
Now, what do you say about him potentially planning to leave his skates? Boom, when he hits.
That's every hit ever, though. That's every hit ever is guys hit upward. Now, we can have that conversation.
Okay.
Like, should you be allowed to hit in an upward motion because it leads to high hits?
Yeah.
Well, it's not just devastation. A hard, devastating hit is fine.
But one that snaps a neck back or something.
One that hits a guy in the head, right? I think you can be against head hits altogether and also acknowledge that shit happens.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and that's the thing, right? I keep referencing Ken Dryden, but he's the best voice I've heard on it. He's like, head hits will happen.
Yeah.
It's just the idea is to have less of them.
And you can call Jacob Trouba predatory. In contact sports, you're allowed to be predatory. He is trying to. This was the interesting conversation I had with Justin Bourne on Twitter about the Jared Spurgeon Pavel Buchnevich cross-check to the ankle. In the NHL, there is some acknowledgement that you are trying to injure your opponents.
Yeah.
There is,
and there are legal ways you can injure your opponent, and that sounds gruesome, but in a contact sport, that's just how it is. When Trouba hits you, he's trying to injure you. And he's trying to injure Max Domi there. I just don't think he's trying to brain him.
Okay.
He does, but I don't think he's trying to.
Yeah, there's one thing, well, there's a couple things that I have wrong with what Trouba's doing here. One of the big ones, besides leaving your feet and going after the head and all that stuff, is where Max Domi is in relation to the boards. So there's that little strip there where you're next to the boards. If Max Domi's standing up straight and Trouba connects this hit how he wants to, Domi goes flying into the boards in that little area where it's super dangerous.
Boarding.
Where you're hitting a guy and he goes flying into the sides and there's a snapped ankle, there's his head, it bounces off the boards. There's so many little problems you can have when you're throwing a guy into a piece of wood.
But why would Trouba let up on that if he knows the NHL is going to fine him $5,000? Right?
That's
what they'll
the kind
do.
of player he is.
Dude,
That's what they'll do. No, that's what I'm saying though, is that like if Domi is standing up straight, Jess, you're absolutely right. He's right in the boarding zone.
I got a problem with those types of hits.
And I'm with you. I 1,000% get it. But Trouba's going to do it until the NHL says no, fucking cut it out.
Two things there.
Sit for a game.
Two things there. What was the dirtiest hit so far in the Stanley Cup playoffs based on the Department of Player Safety?
Who got the suspension? I've already forgotten.
Kyle Clifford on Ross Colton.
Game one.
Only
5 minutes in.
Only
Are you joking?
Only suspension for a hit. Darnell Nurse got the 1 game for the headbutt on Philip Deneau.
Right.
Kyle Clifford is the only player to be suspended.
That's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Like the Hagel one. Oh God, I can't remember the Florida player he hit. That's a dangerous hit. That's the sort of hit that shouldn't be in the NHL. And by the way, Clifford's hit shouldn't be in the NHL either. He deserved what he got.
Wow.
But
damn, dude,
by the Department of Player Safety, that's the most dangerous hit in these playoffs. According to them, it's the only hit that has been given more than a fine.
Wow. Like even the Spurgeon cross-check to the ankle.
$5,000 fine.
Holy
Jamie
shit,
Benn was
Steve.
like, fines are meant to be a deterrent.
Right.
And the funniest thing, like Jesse's scrolling the Department of Player Safety timeline, easily the funniest visual is Jamie Benn getting fined in back-to-back games. Because that means the fine is useless. It's the best demonstration I've ever seen that fines mean nothing. There it is right there.
No way.
He was fined $5,000, the maximum allowable under the CBA for high sticking Calgary's Andrew Mangiapane. And Jamie Benn has been fined $5,000, the maximum allowable under the CBA, for tripping Calgary's Trevor Lewis. He got fined in back-to-back hockey games for stick infractions. Nothing. It doesn't accomplish anything. It doesn't protect anyone.
That's how the PA wants it.
There's been so many fines.
It's their fault too. It's everybody's fault.
No, it's more the PA's fault.
Honestly, maybe. Yeah.
Guys start losing 25, 30, 40 grand for stuff like that. You maybe don't need to suspend them.
Yeah, I think you hit them where it hurts. You cost your team. This costs the teams nothing.
Yeah, you're right.
And I can't remember the other thing I was going to say. Oh, so boarding is a thing.
Yeah.
Boarding it's twofold. It's a penalty. And it's also there to protect players. Why isn't there a line?
I've heard that argument before.
Why isn't there a boarding line?
There should be a little ring around the NHL rink where you can't hit there. It makes sense.
Well,
but that's been going back like decades, you know?
Well, because like what you're asking a player like Jacob Trouba to do, or Max Domi, like Max Domi likes to lay a hit, but what you're asking players to do is guess.
Mm-hmm.
And they're almost always going to guess, I think I'm clean. I think, you know what? This guy's coming at me with the puck, and I kind of think I'm going to crush him.
Mm-hmm.
But
wow.
If there's a line there, there's no argument. Or it's
a little
harder
painted
to argue.
area where, if he's there, you can't do it.
Something like stripes, or you're acknowledging you're still allowed to hit,
which is not into the boards,
along the boards. But okay, so like let's say
like you could do an open ice hit on the stripes, right?
Yeah, but
as long as he doesn't hit the boards,
as long as you're both in, like either you're both within the striped area or you're both out.
I think the problem is that they would look at that and go, okay, well, can a guy just go into the boards and around a defenseman? Defenseman's not allowed to hit him into the boards now. You know what I mean? I think there would be an argument against that.
Don't have boarding.
Don't have boarding the penalty?
Yeah.
Okay, well,
you listen.
You're going to kill someone.
Well, you want this out of the game or you don't. You're not allowed to do it or you're not.
What about no penalties?
I'm sure they would think that more reasonable than my suggestion, which is protect people.
It's crazy. How dare you, Steve?
Oh, man.
See guys just picking up the puck and whipping it at the goalie with their hand. No rules, bitch.
Why isn't that allowed? Mark Bergevin's like, I like it. I'm gonna try the other net next time. Like that. Yeah, man. Like, well, yeah. Like if I'm Jacob Trouba, I'm like, I don't know. I guess I'll see if this works. Because yeah, I understand the boarding argument, but you're just asking players to guess, and that's kind of friggin' difficult, dude. Like the speed of the game thing is a factor. And the slow-mo clip going around, like it just doesn't properly tell you what's going on in this. What?
Sorry.
What is happening?
There we go.
Okay.
There we go.
I just hit the replay button.
Oh, okay. It doesn't properly. It's not an accurate representation of the situation. So they're going full speed. He's trying to make a calculation. All right, how do I blow this guy up and do it in a safe way and do it at full speed? And gosh, I hope this isn't boarding, but there's no line, so I'll guess, I guess. You know, and so like no wonder stuff like this happens. How are you supposed to play this game safely? They've made it impossible for you to play this game safely, and they could institute those lines, and there's still going to be shit. Right.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, we wrap this up. I think that it's a bummer that the heads made contact, but I don't think this is Trouba being dirty. I think it's Trouba trying to kill you, but not be dirty about it. If that makes any sense at all.
Like, listen, you're allowed to injure your opponent. You just got to do it a certain way.
Now, I want to talk about the rest of this. Did you guys see the Frank Vetrano intermission interview?
No.
So he goes. So funny. They're talking about like, you know, the Trouba Domi hit. They're talking about Reeves and D'Angelo being split up. And the intermission reporter's like, so, you know, how do you handle the game like this with all the distractions? He's like, you know, it's hockey. You handle it in the moment, and then you go for the 2 points. And then he walks away.
Oh no!
Like total.
Oh, he was on autopilot.
Yes, he was. He's go for the 2 points. But funnily enough, he finished the game with 1 goal and 1 assist.
Oh, so he got 2 points.
He got his 2 points.
There you go.
Igor Shesterkin looks like he's back to Vezina. Igor Shesterkin.
Man. Oh, he wasn't not Vezina Shesterkin for very long, was he?
No, he wasn't. Now, here's the crazy stat. In these playoffs, Carolina are 6-0 at home.
Yeah.
And they are 0-5 away.
Dude.
So who do you take going into Carolina tomorrow night?
Oh, man.
I'll tell you what the odds are after you tell me what your answer is.
Oh, man. Oh. Kind of feels like New York's got some momentum. Hey? Like they're getting better?
It does feel that way.
Oh, man. I think we're going to get 2 things. I think we're going to get Carolina finally loses at home, and we're going to get Carolina finally wins on the road.
Really?
And we'll get a game 7.
Okay. All right. So the money line on this is Carolina 165 and the Rangers 227. So the money's on Carolina to win.
Which makes sense. I mean, they're undefeated at home. But what's the, I don't know, they're due bet? Is that a thing? Do they have that?
They don't have an I don't know they're due bet.
How do they spell it? I don't know, they're due.
I think that would be betting on the Rangers.
I'll talk to Sports Interaction about that, and I'll see what they can do.
Yeah.
That would be your money on the Rangers.
Yeah, I don't know, they're due 2.27.
Man.
Shouldn't say New York Rangers.
It feels like
I don't know, they're due.
It feels like a Game 7 series, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's definitely getting more entertaining as it goes.
You guys are so mean about this series. Okay, so tonight.
I'm sorry.
Tonight.
What?
We got the Avs and the Blues in Denver. Obviously, I believe there was a snowfall warning in Denver this week because it's Denver.
What? It was 5 degrees in Winnipeg when I was there.
Yeah, because it's Winnipeg.
Great.
Obviously, a huge Nas celebration. Do you think this series wraps up tonight, guys?
Yeah, they got to sort of, you know, you got an experienced Blues team who's going to be fighting for their lives, and you got a Colorado team who had such a good game, such a good result, such a feel-good story from Game 4. And if you're Jared Bednar, your mission in life is to just keep them focused.
Right.
Keep them focused and give them that instinct to finish this thing off.
Interesting.
You know what I mean? Like the Blues, it's going to be difficult to do in that building, but take it from this Leafs fan, Avs fans. You don't want to lose game 5 at home. You don't want to lose game 5 at home.
Why? What happened, Steve?
Well, because then game 6 is on the road. And then you don't want to lose game 6 on the road. And then you get game 7 at home, and it's not the beautiful homecoming that it was at the beginning of game 5. It's all of a sudden the sticks are shaking in your hand and they're gripped real tight. And remember, this is Colorado's hump. The Leafs hump is the first round.
And it's all happening on hump day.
And it is happening on hump day. Isn't that appropriate? Maybe it's a great omen for the Colorado Avalanche, but the second round is their hump.
I can't wait for somebody to take this audio and use it against this somehow.
As opposed to what? Someone being like, hey, look, they made a great point. I'm going to be really nice to
Why
them.
would you tweet that? No, just the humping part.
No, yeah. Just isolate all the humps. Isolate all the times we said hump and pubes.
Somebody should dub it over with Fergie's My Humps.
There you go.
and her American national anthem.
Oh my God, that's an all-timer.
The NBA All-Star
and then
game.
the Good Morning America where she did cartwheels. Have you heard the Good Morning America where she does cartwheels?
Oh, Steve, that's good.
She
You didn't watch
literally-
it.
She's singing and does cartwheels, and as you can imagine, your lungs and your vocal cords move, so it's literally like like it's just the most bizarre shit.
What
I've
a
ever
ridiculous person.
seen. It's ridiculous. It's
That's
ridiculous.
enough, Fergie.
On the social side, obviously, we talked at length yesterday about Nazem Kadri, and a lot of this stuff happened on Saturday and Sunday. So what was unbelievable is that the NHLPA took till yesterday, after we released our show or after we had recorded our show, to actually release a statement. And here's what they said. The comments recently directed at Nazem Kadri online have no place in our society. Notwithstanding fans rooting for interest during the highly competitive playoffs, such racist, hate-filled speech directed at anyone is completely unacceptable. Nazem and his family should never be subjected to comments they have endured this week. Here's what pisses me off about this. Number one, it takes you 48 hours to get it out.
What do you
Number
do,
two,
what do you do?
What are you going to do about it? People are like, what is the PA supposed to do? Just protect the players.
Suppose nothing as usual.
Yeah, like, oh, we've done nothing and we're all out of ideas.
Yeah.
It's not my job to give the Players Association ideas on how to protect BIPOC members of the PA. It's my job to point out, hey, you aren't doing shit other than quote unquote condemning it, which is literally the bare minimum, which, by the way, the Blues have not done yet. We'll get to that in a second. I just think it's shocking. That the PA is like, and we have no plan for this. Don't even ask us. Don't fuck it. I'm surprised they didn't save this for this Friday at 4:00, which is when they normally release
They don't
shit.
protect their players on the ice. They don't protect their players off the ice. They lose every negotiation with the National Hockey League. They're the most useless union in sports.
There's going to be a leadership change this summer. There has to be.
It has to be.
If you're a
because
player listening to this,
they suck.
You can't. This cannot go forward.
Yeah. Guys, you get, you're competitors, right? You lose every time. Every single time. You sick of losing? Figure it out.
Yeah, 100%.
I don't feel bad for you. Do something.
The other thing I want to tell you is that I have some insider information. I have of an unnamed source. Everybody's asking, because even Sportsnet posted today. They said, the NHLPA finally says something. Blues still silent. I have a source that says that the Blues PR team are telling everybody that they are working on something. So that's my source. That's my big. That's almost. It's better than. I'm sorry. It's worse than Brendan Manel. I realize that. in terms
It's
of
not.
insider information.
No, it's not.
But-
that was the worst any insider has ever had. Because you didn't even get the deal when it happened. You said you were hearing things about Brendan Manel, and then when it actually happened, somebody beat you to it.
Kevin bloody Weeks.
Kevin
baby.
Weeks.
That's so.
So
funny.
that nothing, Adam. What you have is much better than what Steve had
So
with
I
Brendan
have
Manel's insider info.
I have a legitimate source, and the source is
I
telling
didn't like
me
the stank you put on legitimate.
the source is telling me that the Blues are telling people, anyone who asks, that they're working on something, and that's as far as it goes. I know that isn't much to go on, but doesn't that say it all right there?
What's taking so long?
They're working on something.
What did the source say? Why did they
The
say
source said, "What is taking so long?" And they said, "We're working on something."
Yeah.
What are they working on?
They're working on a response.
What kind of response?
I don't know.
Okay.
You know,
whenever
I didn't know what
disappointing.
Whenever I didn't know what to write on an assignment, I would start with a title. And then I would take a couple hours to play video games. And then I would write the date. And then I would play video games for a couple more hours. So I think the Blues are sitting there with a title and date, and they might have even written their name on it.
Mm-hmm.
And by game 21, we might actually have a response from the Blues.
It's crazy.
It's just so bare minimum, man. And I'm sure there's some discussion about, all our fans are just going to get pissed anyway. Not all our fans, but a large chunk of people on Twitter, the Blues are going to say, hey, you shouldn't go after Naz and Kadri. And a bunch of people are going to go, bleh, for a wide variety of reasons.
All you have to say
is racism's bad and don't threaten people. Fuck.
That's it. Like I could, boom, I'm PR.
Yeah.
Like what's holding this up?
It's, racism's bad. Don't threaten people. Fuck the St. Louis Blues. Michael Scott, Wayne Gretzky. I struggle to see the difficult part of this. I struggle with it. What are they worried it would piss off the players, the coach who wouldn't say anything? What's the holdup here? It's ridiculous. It's really hard to. You guys were right yesterday. It's hard to cheer for them.
Yep.
You're not, and if you were a Blues fan, you would not be the first Blues fan to reach out and tell me that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, absolutely. Like it's, I don't think an organization's decisions reflects its fan base.
But you made the decision not to say anything.
Yeah.
And then your coach made the decision not to say anything. That's where the Blues are implicated in this. It's the easiest path. It's the easiest fucking path, and they can't get it, and neither can the PA. So I think it's important that we highlight that.
Yeah.
Hold the Blues to account. Hold the PA to account. This is not good enough, guys. Come on.
And you feel bad for the fans because cheering for a team requires getting behind the people who work within that organization.
Absolutely.
You get behind the players, the coaches, the GM, the social media staff,
the culture behind the scenes.
Culture, and being a fan, you're like, I can't put my flag in the ground for this team. I can't wave my St. Louis Blues flag because I don't want to support these people who won't come out and do the bare minimum for this player who received racist threats.
Yeah. That's a real tough one, man.
Yeah. What's next?
I did have something else to say. I can't remember them.
Okay. The last thing before we do the press conference is something Jesse brought up at the end of the show yesterday, which is the Flyers and John Tortorella.
Oh my God.
Now, I was thinking about this in the shower this morning, and because this is where I do my thinking. And I'm thinking
you
that,
and everyone else.
I know Barry Trotz is probably everybody's number one pick, right? He's the belle of the ball in terms of coaches.
Yeah.
But to me, Torts makes the most sense for the Flyers, and I'll tell you why. Okay? I know Barry Trotz plays a very structured system that's defensive. So does Torts. I think Barry Trotz, I feel like he's going home. And I think the reason Torts works well in Philly is because no matter what happens to Torts in Philly, whether he's good or he's bad, he's getting hired again. And I think this Chuck Fletcher regime has max 2 to 3 years left. And I think Torts is a max 2 to 3 year coach.
Yep.
I'm not saying he won't last beyond 2 to 3 years, but if you look at his record, he stops sort of being affected after that 36-month mark. And I think that's a perfect fit. If we're talking Chuck Fletcher he knows it's not Minnesota. He knows he's not going to be able to get away with a bunch of one and dones or even not making the playoff, right? So he's going to have to make the playoffs.
Well, he couldn't get away with it in Minnesota either.
Well, yeah, he did for 10 years.
He did for too long.
But Philly's different, right? It's not going to be like that. You're not as friendly with the owner as you were in Minnesota.
Right.
So I think if you're Chuck Fletcher, you're like, I got max 3 years with this team left. Max. And by the way, Flyers fans, I know, I'm sorry. I think Torts is the guy that gets this because Torts fucking hates being in the media side of things. He hates it.
He hated it the last time.
And he hates it now.
He so obviously hated being on TSN.
He wants it. You need a guy who's going to ship these guys into shape And if it doesn't work, Fletcher's gone, Torts is gone. If you're the owner, you're like, okay, they're gone.
There you go.
But the owner made a commitment to Chuck Fletcher against everyone's better judgment, and now they're going to have to deal with it. Now they're going to have to say, all right, we got to live in this. And it's a little bit. The other thing I think is that you guys caught the Bobby Clark interview from earlier this year. He was on some sort of podcast,
where
right?
he basically said Ron Hextall screwed the Flyers out of drafting Cale Makar.
Right. So, if you look at what's happened with the Flyers since then, and I know that Clark is still involved, I think that says a lot about what's going on behind the scenes with the Flyers. And I think that's why a guy like Torts fits perfectly. I'm not saying he's in with a bad culture. I think Torts is the kind of yelly, screamy, militaristic type of guy that the Flyers upper management thinks that they need. Whether or not they do, I think that's who they want.
Can I read the statements from both parties just for the context of what happened? So yesterday, John Tortorella tells where he works, ESPN, that he's interviewing for a job. He says, "I'm very fortunate to have the opportunity, but I will leave it at that." When asked about did he interview for the Flyers job, he confirms it. He's very fortunate. He's going to leave it at that. Everybody goes wild. They say, John Tortorella, you interviewed for the Flyers job. He's getting it. Chuck Fletcher comes out with a statement last night. Statement from Flyers GM Chuck Fletcher regarding coaching search. This is from Adam Kimmelman, Flyers reporter. Chuck Fletcher says, "We are conducting a formal search process to determine the next head coach of the Flyers. We expect to interview several high-quality candidates over the coming days and weeks. Our goal is to find the right candidate for the job based on chemistry, fit, and a proven track record of success. Our process will be confidential, and therefore we won't be releasing any names or details of the candidates we select to interview."
So it's like word salad until the last sentence.
So there, in the last sentence there, you do get some info there.
Word
so
salad.
Tortorella goes out and and he confirms to his own network that he's interviewing, and Chuck Fletcher comes back and says, "We're not going to be talking about anybody we're interviewing."
Yeah, but you know what? The Flyers are desperate, and Torts can do that, and the Flyers are like, "Oh, we're going to keep this secret." Well, you've already blown it. Like, just say we interviewed the guy. Who cares?
You can't be bashful with information I don't want.
Steve.
Shut up, Chuck.
Yeah, that's actually true. Like, you interview.
I'm not going to say. All right, good.
You're the fucking Flyers. You should be interviewing the best coaches available.
Yeah, shut up, Chuck. Here, I think you missed something.
Okay.
Barry Trotz is coming home, literally.
Mm-hmm.
From Manitoba. He's going home to Manitoba. John Tortorella, if he signs with the Philadelphia Flyers, would be coming home spiritually.
He embodies Philly.
If you had to assign John Tortorella's personality a city, it would be Philadelphia. The yelly, screamy man who takes no bullshit and an Italian last name, and he's got a heart of gold. Right? Is that not... And I hate to compare you two, because I know similar places that aren't the same in the United States hate being compared to each other. You know where John Tortorella's from? It's not Philadelphia, but it's close. Guess. Where you got, Adam?
I don't even know where he's from.
It makes sense for who he is.
For Torts?
Yeah.
He's not from Philly.
So he's not from Philly, but he's from a place.
Boston?
He's from fucking Boston.
Yeah.
How did you nail it first?
Well,
guess?
it's like, listen.
Because both places' national anthem is just people flipping off and screaming "fuck you" at the top of their lungs. Welcome to fucking Boston. Fuck you.
I don't know.
Welcome to fucking Philly.
Do I want to ask? Do people from Philadelphia and people from Boston recognize themselves in the mirror when they play each other? Like there is some similarities there culturally.
It's the Spider-Man meme.
Yeah, a little bit. Not completely.
I never mentioned this part, or maybe I did the first time I told the story, but the famous story from Philadelphia when I was there, the parking lot attendant for the draft.
Yes, I love that.
So there was a car that was driving in a restricted area, and they didn't realize they were driving in a restricted area. What would you typically expect a security guard to say?
Excuse me, sir. Can you please turn this out? You're in a restricted area. Can you please turn around, go to that lot?
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No, the parking lot attendant said, "What are you, nuts?" And he looked exactly like John Tortorella.
Oh, that's perfect.
He had the Torts mullet.
I think Flyers fans would love Torts. Don't you think?
You know what? That's an organization that is so down bad. And with one name, you've turned me. Hey, do you want John Tortorella to be the coach of your team? I don't really know. What's my team? The Philadelphia Flyers. Ooh. Oh, that could work.
I'm into that.
That could work.
I'm telling
Tortorella to Vancouver.
That was weird.
Weird. It's not the right fit. Tortorella with Canucks Twitter is a fit.
What do you mean?
They're mean. They're very mean. Tortorella and Vancouver Twitter are a match made in heaven.
Okay.
Tortorella and Vancouver the city, doesn't work.
Nah, girl.
We figured that out. Tortorella and the Flyers.
Oh yeah,
you got yourself a deal,
baby.
All of a sudden, no, because the praise I always give the Bruins is the Bruins have played like the Bruins for like over a decade now.
Yes, the Flyers stopped playing like the Flyers.
The Flyers, they're not the Broad Street Bullies. They're a friggin' team that wears orange. Like, that is it. That's all they are. If Tortorella can bring the Broad Street Bullies back, all of a sudden you get a team that plays a little bit above what they should be. All of a sudden you get a building that's way louder than it has been for a few years now. And that allows them to elevate. And all of a sudden, you got this overachieving team. What if the Flyers play a fuck you brand of hockey and Carter Hart starts to come into his own? We forget how young this young man is. And all these pieces start to fit together. This might be a really good fit.
Could be. Could be fun.
I want to see it.
Could be fun.
I want to see it. And there will be no Michigan goals. Or assists. You can eat shit if you think that's going to happen on my hockey team.
The only way you can score is by punching the puck into the net. That's it. Willing it.
Good news, Blackhawks fans. The Flyers are going to trade for Seth Jones. And that's where that contract's going.
That's true.
Tortorella's like, I can't wait to play that guy. Half an hour a night. Can't wait. Remember when he played him over an hour?
Jesse, let's do the press conference.
That was
awesome. I did play him over an hour, didn't he?
He did. It was an 8-period game, but he did.
Let me ask you something. You're heading into the shower.
Fine.
What's your number one goal?
Get unstinky.
Have no pubes.
That.
How can we accomplish that, Adam?
Well, how do I get there, Adam?
If you have the lights,
how do I do it?
If you don't have any lights in your bathroom, you could use the Manscaped tool, and it has a 4000K LED light, so you can still see. How about that? You can then follow that up by lathering on the new Ultra Premium Body Wash with aloe vera and sea salt. And when it's your hair care time, apply the 2-in-1 shampoo. And when you hop out of the shower, it's the Manscaped aluminum-free deodorant. If you have tattoos or dry skin like I do, no tattoos, just dry skin. I'm not that cool. Let your skin use the hydrating body moisturizer spray. It's infused with the power of red algae from the Pacific Ocean. And of course, you can finish that off by plumping up those sexy lips with Manscaped lip balm.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, man.
Listen, you know what we're talking about here. Get 20% off and free shipping with Manscaped. Use the promo code DANGLE. Again, 20% off and free shipping. Use the promo code DANGLE. Accomplish all your shower goals, Jesse, like
having no pubes.
It's time to get wet, but be clean and soft with Manscaped's shower routine. If you're tired of paying high interest and you need to consolidate your credit card, you should check out Lightstream. A lot of people don't realize this, but credit cards have terribly high interest rates. Even if you got excellent credit, it could be 20% or 30% or even higher. So stop overpaying and take control of your finances. Lightstream believes people with great credit deserves a great rate, and that's what they give you. It's way lower than most credit cards. And if you've got credit card debt that's been hanging around for a while, you might feel stuck with those high rates. Lightstream can actually work for you to get the payments down and the interest down. So you might want to check this out. You go to lightstream.com/STP. That's LIGHTSTREM.com/STP. Apply now to get a special interest rate discount and save even more. Subject to credit card approval. Rates from 5.73 APR to 19.99 APR. And includes 0.5 auto pay discount. Lowest rate requires excellent credit. Terms and conditions apply, and offers are subject to change without notice. Visit lightstream.com/STP for more information. This podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp Online Therapy. And listen, life can be overwhelming. A lot of people are feeling burned out. You might not even know it. And if you're feeling burnt out, it can be lack of motivation. You feel helpless. You feel trapped, detached. Burnout for me really is I relate it to being in like the oven for too long. You know what I mean? At the end of the hockey season, usually I'm close to that, and it's sort of like if I have a hard time getting up for the show, if I have a hard time if I'm looking at the show going, this seems too overwhelming to me, that's when I know I'm in burnout mode, because I love doing this.
Well, I never.
It's happened to me.
That's when you know the fries are burnt.
That's right. Now, we associate it with work, but it's not the only cause, and BetterHelp can help with that. They've customized online therapy that offers video, phone, and even live chat sessions with your therapist, so you don't even have to be on camera. You know, for a lot of people, they don't want to be in the same room. They don't want to be on camera. It's too much, and BetterHelp is great with that. They also get you a therapist within 48 hours. Which is really a big challenge for people that finally make that decision. So this podcast, as I told you, sponsored by BetterHelp, and Steve Dangle Podcast listeners get 10% off their first month at BetterHelp.com/SDP. Again, that's BetterHelp, BetterHelp.com/SDP.
The Presser. SDP. The Steve Dangle Press Conference.
I was just thinking, can you imagine Cam Atkinson? No! I thought I escaped this! No!
This question comes from Mike_S412 on our Discord. If you're not a member of our Discord, go to sdpn.ca and join our Discord. It's a lot of fun over there.
Do it.
Are the Leafs in danger of becoming the 2010s Sharks, who had all the pieces for a pretty long stretch, but could just never get it done?
No, they don't have to worry about that. The 2010s Sharks won lots of playoff series.
Yeah, but like, what if the Leafs end up winning a lot of playoff series?
Well, they haven't done that yet.
Oh, okay.
I would kill for the Leafs to be the 2010 Sharks right now.
Man, imagine the Leafs with the 2016 Sharks.
Oh, man.
Delish.
4 rounds of YouTube revenue. And then they lose, and I cry an entire summer.
This is from Doug. Doug, I don't know how you secured the username Doug, but that's impressive.
Good for you.
Which former Leaf would you be most excited to hoist the cup this year? We got a bunch of options like Hyman, Thornton, Freddie, Bogosian.
Thornton's out.
The Flyers, the Panthers lost. Kadri. Who are you rooting
Well, I
for?
think given what happened, Kadri. For sure.
Yeah, it's got to be Nas.
Yeah.
Hyman would be a good one, and then he would pass it to Cece and then Barry, and
Oh, yeah.
I'd die. I just dig a hole myself.
Those don't bug me. They didn't play well here.
Cece's
That's
annoying.
so true.
Like, I'm not.
He's playing better there, but like,
they're still guys. They're still letting in like minimum 3 goals.
But
a
what
game.
was
like? I don't tell me that Edmonton's defense. Like, it's hilarious. The history that's been rewritten on Cody Cece. Not because he was a bad player, but he was a terrible fit in Ottawa, and he was a terrible fit in Toronto. And he was a
better Penguin.
They limited his use in Pittsburgh, and look at that, he was useful. And then he got a great contract offer in Edmonton. And the reality is, the Edmonton Oilers defense is so bad and has been so bad for so long. Yeah, Cece's an upgrade.
Well, it's funny. I noticed he was out with McDavid a lot last night, and he did have a really good scoring chance, but he took a bunch of bombs from the point. They all missed.
Was that Barry or Cece? Because Barry did that too.
I really like the way Barry's playing in the series.
Well, I think he's found his spot, right?
Yeah, he did have the one scoring chance where he I thought it was really dangerous, and he just puts it right into Markstrom's logo.
Yeah,
which that was on Leaf brand, but the way he holds the Flames in at the offensive blue line, I think Barry does a really good job. CC plays with McDavid a lot, that's a lottery right there. Listen, but it's got to be Nas or Hyman.
And I don't have a hate on for Cody Cece. It was like, don't pretend that he was good here. Everybody's like, I can't believe they lost him for nothing. He played like shit.
No, it was also, you got to remember,
he was a cap dump trade.
When this is the danger reading Twitter when a trade happens. Part of the reason we were disappointed is a lot of Leaf fans convinced themselves when that trade happened that the Leafs were going to flip him. Then it was, no, we're not going to flip him. We like him. We're going to keep him. Then it was, no, he's on our first pair. So we went from no, there's no way they're going to keep this player to he's on our first pair very fast.
Mm-hmm.
And it hurt a little.
Next question. This comes from Ryan Called 72. Not hockey related. Ryan wants an update on where we are in our F1 league standings.
Oh, okay.
Adam, do you have your grid rival? Have you been active on it?
I've actually been moving up. I've been moving up. I had a terrible first couple of weeks, and I have yet to figure out who I'm going to sign on this one because I just lost Charles Leclerc, but I think I started at like 450th out of like 1,100 people, and I've worked my way up in the last 4 weeks to 328th.
Oh, so you suck.
Yeah, I do. I had because you know what I did? I put all my money in Mercedes run engines. I had Lewis Hamilton. I had George Russell. George Russell's been very good. Lewis Hamilton's been off and on. And then I had McLaren as my main team. And they run a Mercedes engine. It's just fucking.
You're in the top third.
I'm in the top third. I'm working my way up. It was a bad first. It was terrible first week. Yeah. Terrible.
I'm currently sitting in 38th.
Whoa! Well done, buddy.
It's not a bad start to the year at all. You know?
Jesse Blake, everybody.
My team's been doing very well.
Couldn't crack the top 35, could you?
I was last week. I was at 32 and then I dropped back because I had a little week.
Jesse's stock is dropping. Yours is on the way up.
Yeah, put on your rally caps, kids. I'm going to make a 300 place. I'm coming for you, Blake. I'm coming for you. I just lost Charles Leclerc too. I had him for like 3 or 4 races, and he's been my best one. And then there's like a rule where when your contract with these guys expires because you're given a thing, you can't re-sign them again for one whole race.
But I have a huge problem with that.
I fucking hate it.
Because you can release guys in the middle of their contract, and then you shouldn't be able to sign them for however long you would have had them. Yeah. But if the contract expires, you should be able to re-sign them that week. Mm-hmm. It's a new contract, right? Why would you have to wait a week if I played out the entirety of the contract? So I need Grid Rival to fix that because it's annoying.
Yep.
Strange rule.
Yeah, strange rule.
I don't get it.
I don't get it either. I got to bring up another question. Do you guys have any questions?
How you doing?
How are you, Jesse?
How am I doing?
Yeah, how are you doing? How you doing these days?
I want to know.
How am I doing?
Yeah, if I don't fucking ask him, I'll never know.
I'm doing fantastic.
What's your day-to-day like?
Okay, so one thing I do want to talk about is I've been working on my golf game.
Okay.
I do have a coach now.
Do you?
I have a swing coach. He helps me.
Wow.
I'm doing it once a week. And
so you're a swinger now.
And then
pineapples outside his window.
And then I go up to the driving range and I practice. I don't know if you guys have been to the docks.
What does that mean?
You've never heard that?
Swinger culture Adam's into.
Oh, yeah, like the star.
Yeah, if you have that, what was in Alberta? I think you had the star and your garage halfway open or something like that. You were a swinger. It's hilarious.
That's so weird.
One of the funniest things that I ever heard on the radio. Like we had somebody call in. It was like, oh, that's what it is. It's the big, the big rusty star you can get from Winners. That's the one, or HomeSense or whatever it was. Yeah, awesome. Hilarious.
That was a weird aside.
I know.
So yeah, I got my coach now, and we've been doing some lessons, and I'm getting a little better. And I'm going to play a lot this summer. Obviously, because I got to put these new skills to use.
Of course.
And I'm just wondering when you guys are going to join me.
Whenever you invite us.
I don't think that's the truth.
I've never. Have you been invited? I don't remember.
I don't actually have. I don't think I've had a single invitation.
So if I invited you to come out to the course in a couple of weeks,
when's the course? Where's the course?
Oh, we play 9 holes somewhere in Etobicoke, or we can go out to Ajax if you want to close to Steve.
They do. Just shut up. You just shut up.
I played not
Deer
this
Creek.
Not this. No, I played Carruthers.
Oh, yeah,
Not this past Saturday, but the Saturday previous. I played. That was right. That's right by you. That's 9 holes. You can bang it out in like an hour and a half.
We need to do a Jesse Blake par 3 9-hole tournament.
I'd love that.
Like a charity.
I would
tournament.
love that.
Wouldn't that be fun?
That would be my dream.
Get ready to get spanked, you two.
I've always wanted to do a go-kart, like an Adam Wild Grand Prix. Mm-hmm. Steve, you do your hockey tournament, right? So Jesse, you do a golf tournament.
And so every season, we each kind of have our thing.
Yeah.
Like you can have the summer, I'll do the spring, and then you have the fall, and where your charity tournament is, and then mine, and yours will be the go-karting.
And nobody does shit in the winter because fuck charity in the winter.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. It's Christmas, so there's enough charity.
Yeah. Oh my
Okay, they're Scrooge.
Dark, very dark.
That's a joke.
As Jesse once said, "Are there no prisons? Are there no workhouses?"
Well, they're gonna die. They better do it and decrease the surplus population.
Let's envision your go-kart tournament.
Sorry, who had quoting Dickens on their bingo card? Because I didn't.
Dude, my dad can quote that thing in its entirety, and he does every Christmas.
Jesse, go
Who
ahead.
did we get wrong the other day? I Tale of Two Cities. I said it was Dickens, and it's actually
It's Shakespeare.
No, it's not.
Tale of Two Cities?
No, I think we said Mark Twain.
I said it was Twain, and it's actually Dickens, or it's actually Dickens.
Dickens is Tale of Two Cities. You said
Okay,
Twain.
and I said it was Mark Twain.
Yeah, because Twain was the American writer, Dickens is the British
I
writer.
apologize.
I like how you're
All you-
apologizing and you want to clarify, and I'm like, whatever, nerd.
I would like to apologize for
Yeah,
that.
honestly, that's what I'd like to do. We've been talking about this for a bit. I
Okay.
just don't know how to organize
I
this
want to
shit.
do this right now.
Okay.
You lay out your business plan, the perfect go-kart charity tournament for Adam Wild. What would it be?
Here's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
So you run it in heats, right? So you have, we'd have to do some sort of buy-in, right? And I think it'd be a day-long thing because I don't know what the buy-in would be, but I would want it to be low enough that if you're coming out, it's not like a lot of charity events is like $1,000 for a seat at the table. I don't want that. I'd want there to be a lot of heats, and then the winner from each heat moves up, and it's almost like a playoff tree. So if you or the top two cars from each heat. So if you get and I wouldn't base it on who finished the first line first or whatever. It'd be the best times. So because
like
if you start
like swimming in the Olympics.
Yeah, because if you start at the back in go-karting, it's literally impossible to get to the front. So if you got the best two times, you move up. And then we kind of get to the top, and then we have a winner. And then, what's great about charity tournaments is obviously you want to give something back to charity, and you want to give something to the participants as well. So I just think it'd be really cool. And it'd be like, I don't know if there are any actual professional race car drivers that listen to the show, but it'd be fun to get you out for that. I think that could be great. And there's a lot of great go-kart tracks outside of Toronto. I don't think there's any good ones inside, but there's a lot of like in-house ones that you could do in any weather, which you need in Toronto because it can always rain. And I think it'd be a lot of fun. Like that's all I would say is that like, let's just do the time thing and then a low buy. And don't quote me on this, but let's say it's $20. It's $20 to come in. We'll bring pizza. We'll have like a beer sponsor and then basically you can bid on some items as well. That all goes to charity, which I think is kind of neat. And then you get if you win, you get a big goofy trophy. Like you get like a 6 foot tall, stupid trophy that you can't even fit in your car. You have to get your friend's truck to come by, just like Steve when he bought his kayak.
And then you leave it at their cottage.
That's right.
Yours could be called Adam's Wild Ride.
Oh.
Or Back on Tracksuit.
Oh, I like that. And I think you should, if you want to make it even cooler, we should have people who come out in their own like racing gear.
Yeah.
Like you should have colors. Like I've always wanted to totally rip off the McLaren golf colors, the light blue and the orange.
Yeah.
And then like get a helmet made or something like that. And then we can auction them off. And my helmet would be huge because my head's enormous. So you could have a Steve Dangle helmet. You could have a Jesse Blake helmet. We sign it. We auction it.
3 biggest helmets in the world.
Yeah.
And Jesse's could be called Athletic Greens. It's a golf.
Why?
Because golf. Green.
I feel like that's already a thing.
No, I checked.
Let's
it's
take
not.
the direct name. So Jesse, let's talk about the golf tournament. How would you do it?
It'd be a full day thing with because golf tournaments. If you've ever been to a charity golf tournament, afterwards a big deal that they have at Easter Seals is the auction. So there has to be some sort of auction component where we're doing a huge dinner afterwards in the clubhouse because we gotta do at the bougiest golf course in the GTA. I don't
Is
know
that
where
what you
that'd
would do?
be.
You'd put it in the bougie golf course?
We'd go to the bougie. It'd be cheap entry, but we'd front the money at first.
Dude,
then all
I thought we would do this at like Dentonia or something
Yeah.
like that.
No.
Mini putt.
Mine would be the bougie one.
You're out of your mind.
I'm doing the
All right.
bougie golf course. We have the dinner, $1,000 a seat. And then we have a.
Wow.
It's not 1,000. I was joking.
Yeah, it's 2.
It'd be cheap entry, and then we'd have the dinner after. And then during the day, we'd play 9 holes. 18 holes is too long. It's too long for most people.
It is.
It's ridiculous. I never play 18 holes. I always play 9 or 12.
I lose interest around 6. But if it's 9 holes, I'm like, you know what? I can tough out the next 3. If it's
can
18,
power it
I'm like,
out.
I'm a third of the way there.
18 holes is your whole day. Then your whole day is just golf.
That's work.
Yeah,
That's
it's
work,
too
man.
much. So it'd be a 9-hole little day, and then we'd start early I think you should always start early, and then we'd finish midday. Like I want to be out by like 3. It'd be like a lunch thing. Then we have our charity. We get a bunch of. I want a whole bunch of hockey items. Whether we purchase them ourselves and then auction them off for the charity.
I know some Nikita Gutsev things we could share.
Yeah, I still need to do something with that. So Devils fans, I finally have my Nikita Gutsev stick that can be yours.
We got to figure out a way.
Strong defenseman Nikita Gutsev.
Let's hold on to it until Easter Seals, I think, at this point.
Yeah?
Okay.
Yeah. We'll double it up because I've already given money to Easter Seals
Right.
for the stick. And now you got to give me money that I will then give to Easter Seals.
I think that would make the most sense.
I think that makes a lot of sense. Then it stays within the family.
Yeah.
What would you guys like to see at the SDPN charity golf tournament?
Who would I like to see, or
what would you like to see?
Well, I think there's got to be a table where you can bid on cool like golf related items as well. So if we could find like a golf sponsor who would like drop in a cool putter or something like that. What?
The most important golf related item, Adam. What would it be?
Your glove.
Balls!
There it is.
Manscaped golf balls.
There it is.
Signed by Manscaped himself.
Jared Manscaped.
Jared Manscaped.
Who founded this in his parents' basement. He's got a hairy family, and he was like, what do I do about this?
Peter Manscaped.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Yeah, so I think we can have a lot of fun with that. I don't know. We were looking for, obviously, as a network, we're looking for more ways to raise money for charity. And the other thing is that, you know, as we grow, because right now we're at the, like, all of us are at our working maximum. There's no way that we could add more. We need people, we're going to need people, or we need to work with people who know how to do this, because we don't. So, you know, if you're listening to this and you're going, I run charities, I know how this works, help us out. Or, you know what I mean? Like, you
know how, like, we always read stories about, like, rich people who are very stubborn and they won't allow people to help them. They just, no, I'm going to make all the decisions. I don't get that. And I get it less now that we have a network.
Right.
I really like being like, do you know how to do this?
Yeah.
Okay, can you do this?
Here's the alternate. Here's the alternate reality, though, is that you're not rich, and that's the problem.
No,
the one difference there is that you're still a normally waged guy.
This TV is very nice. I think
it's really not. It was literally the cheapest TV I could get at Best Buy on the refurbished part of the website.
But the stand and the labor that went into making
it was like
the stand.
$200 or something.
$200. That's not bad.
That's so much money.
Might have been like $180. I don't know.
Steve put together the TV stands in the studio, so he's very proud of that.
Yeah.
Jesse and I
just wanted to point it out.
Jesse and I did
that one too.
In the time it took Steve to do the stands, Jesse and I put together the rest of the studio.
Oh, weird that the more difficult task took longer.
I don't know.
Isn't that weird? The more difficult task that one person was doing instead of two took longer.
I don't know, Steve.
Isn't that so strange?
It was nice when you were done the first one, because we were just like, all right, Steve, get on the second one. You're like, I kind of know how this works now.
Well, yeah. And also, I think something went on backwards and I had to redo it.
You did, yeah.
Yeah.
If you ever need a guy to put together some furniture really slowly, that's your guy.
I thought I would have a nice conversation with my friends I hadn't seen in a while, but it's okay. I was a laborer that day. I get it.
So back to the beginning of this question.
Yeah.
When are you guys coming out to? Are you this summer?
Yeah, I would do it this summer. I think here's what it is for me, honestly. And I would love once we're down to one show a week. So after free agency, I'm in.
Fair.
And this is the thing, guys. Like, you know, we still have. It's the end of May, and there's still minimum. I think there's 8 weeks left.
We got 2 months.
We don't have any small shows coming up.
No,
like everything's so high stakes.
Yeah, CJ as well. It's a busy time. This is where the burnout kicks in. It's where you got to fight through it in the playoffs.
I'm good.
Okay, fine. Oh, it's good that he's good. I can barely talk, but we will be back on Friday, so be looking out for that show. CJ show tomorrow. Agent Provocateur just released today. Let's see if Steve actually knows the guy, the Zdeno that Alan was talking about.
I'm mad.
Are you any closer?
No.
I'm not even going to tell you after the show's over, and I know as soon as the extra ends, Steve's going to be like, "Who is it?" And I'm not telling you. You have to listen.
If I look it up, is it cheating?
Yes.
Oh man!
You can't look it up. Just
Fine.
Download it.
Fine.
The Steve Dangle Podcast.
Powered by Sports Interaction, Canada's sportsbook.
Follow the guys on Twitter at Steve_Dangle, at Adam WYLDE, and at Jesse Blake. Connection complete.